Hey, what's going on, DDO players? Axel here. Welcome back to my DDO free-to-play series. If you haven't seen these videos before, this is a series where I'm playing through DDO on a fresh free-to-play account, using only what I find and not using any guild buffs, auction house, DDO store, nothing like that. Just using what I find. So, last episode we finished up both our level 8s and our level 9s. We did Church and the Called and Faithful Departed, I believe, last episode. So this episode, we're moving on to level 10s, and I'm doing Ataraxia's Haven. So you can enter that from House Kundarak here on the east. So we'll go through Mevrin here. He leads us there. It's this cool, an area of the game I'm very nostalgic about, actually. I played it a long time ago when I was a very new player. So it's a cool little wilderness with 2 quests in it. So we'll go do those 2 level 10 quests. A couple things to update on the character. So as I was unlocking these on normal and hard and such, I did get to level 12, and I also ran some other quests on normal, other level 10s that we're going to get to in future episodes. So I got XP that way. So I got to level 12, which is just an absolutely huge level, because at level 12 I get the 4th core, which gives me immunity to energy drain, which would have been huge in Zorian Cypher. When we were in Zorian Cypher, remember, I was having trouble because the mobs there were hitting me with negative levels and there was nothing I could do about it, but now I'm immune to those, so that's good. And also at level 12 we got a greater two-handed fighting feat, so another two-handed fighting feat, the third one, and we also got access to tier 5 of Knights of the Chalice at level 12. So we got all this nice stuff here. I mean, extra 10 melee power, attack, not of attack and damage, 25% competence bonus to hit points. We got also Holy Retribution, really nice cleave. So 12 is just, in terms of power jumps, it's a big power jump for us. So that's really cool. As far as gear, still not getting too much I can use. Some things I replaced. I did find this medium armor, actually, that has PRR and Insightful PRR. So that bumped me up a little bit in the PRR department. It is medium armor, so don't have the same base kind of bonus that heavy armor gets, but it's still, with this other effects on it, still gives me a net more PRR, and also I get a little more cat for my dodge, so I have a little bit more dodge. Picked up a couple other things. I picked up, got a Charisma 5 ring, which is duplicated here in the cloak, but it is +1 more. So went ahead and put this on. Didn't really have anything better. It gives me some base fire resistance too, which is cool. I did put on these gloves. I gave up a couple saves, actually. There was a saves item that was giving me a net +2 to saves. I gave that up for this, which gives me Deception and Seeker. Deception, not too important since we're always going to have the aggro since we're soloing, but it could help some when I sneak up on certain monsters, possibly. But the main thing is I wanted the Seeker 6 for that extra base on crits, which is quite nice. But I think that's about it as far as our gear. Still looking for some, I'd really love to have some other stuff, like a better double strike. We still haven't found, I'm not finding hardly any strength items. I would love to have a strength +5 item. That would be really cool. A better deadly item would be cool. So we'll see how lucky we get. But let's go ahead and, in the future, but let's go ahead and go to Ataraxia. And in the thumbnail of this video, you'll see this building here, which has a spa inside it. So it's kind of a cool little bar, one of the coolest looking bars, I would say, in the game. So something, if you have time to check it out, go run inside and see. I don't think I'll show you in this video, but pop in there. Right there is the bar, if you want to see. It's like it's a spa. Okay, let's go. So there's 2 quests. You can see them both right here. The first one is Reclamation, and then this other one at the far west is Skyros Jewel. Go ahead and use. We got plenty of expeditious retreats. So this quest is pretty straightforward. 1 or 2 things that you'll want to know. And I'm actually, where did I put my Featherfall? There it is. I need to lock my bars here. Featherfall items on this. You want a Featherfall here to the bottom. There's a couple things to know about this quest. Is probably the best way to get to the levers. which I'll show you. And also, you want to, this is a quest where you want to pull mobs out of the center runes, because as you'll see when we get to it, some of these rooms, if you jump right in, there can be archers everywhere and you can get plunked, and the archers are positioned in a way where it really punishes you from just zerging and just jumping in the middle. But I'll show you that in a second. Let's go ahead and pull. I actually only have a level 11 hirelings. I don't think these quests are going to be very difficult, so I didn't bother to run to get a level 12 hireling. I could have, though. We will make sure we get all our appropriate buffs going. But yeah, especially a strength item, as I said in previous videos, I would love to get one because I'm getting pretty sick of having to constantly cast these short duration buffs. So you start this quest, you just fall all the way down, and then basically you just fall all the way to the bottom and then work your way up. So as you can see on the map here, there's 3 shaft areas, and you have to go and pull these levers. Oh yeah, by the way, the other piece of gear I got this minimum level 12 venomous greatsword of deception on it, which doesn't really matter too much, but because we have the aggro all the time, it has poisonous 3d6. But I went ahead and used this one. It's pretty close, other the other holy greatsword I had before, but this one has more consistent damage and it has bigger base damage, so I went with this one. But it's pretty close considering this holy greatsword has the gashing 5 on it, but it was kind of a choice between better crits or more crit damage or more consistent damage. So this is kind of what I'm talking about. Like you really want to pull this mobs. Although this first room isn't too bad, but you can just run in here if you want to pull mobs like these guys, because you don't want to jump down and start getting planked by all these archers. You really want to pull some stuff out and fight it out here rather than try and fight it all there at the bottom. So there we go, not too bad. Yeah, so there's some mobs here like these metal dogs that like to spam grease. No freedom of movement for me. I mean, there's no way for me to get it yet. So maybe later I'll have to look through the different free-to-play quests and see if there's anywhere where I could maybe farm a freedom of movement item, because I actually don't know offhand where the first available free-to-play freedom movement item is. If we had paid content, we could get access to it earlier, but we don't. So see, this is one of the wheels you have to turn. This first one in particular is pretty tricky. So you, as I did here, you just want to fall off, land on this spot here, and just work your way out. It doesn't really look like you can pull it from here, but if you position yourself properly, you can. But some people struggle to do that because they don't understand how to position their character there. But it's pretty easy. A bunch of stuff we can break for optional. I'm not going to bother. It's just not really worth my time. But I could if I wanted to. Okay, so all you do, so we got that. You just keep following. Really easy to know. Sometimes there's sometimes there's a rare rust monster. He was not here this time, but sometimes he's there. But you can really easily, it shouldn't be too difficult to get lost. You stay in the center, or too difficult to go the right direction, but you just go up the ramps until you get to the top. Stop at each of these rooms on the side as you go. There's a couple connecting rooms like this one where you could potentially fall down a hole. Don't do that. You'll have to climb all the way back up. Yeah, these dogs are really annoying when I don't have freedom of movement.
The central furnace room is host to the next.
Okay, this is room number 2. Got another lever up there to pull. Another situation, bunch of champs. You don't want to fight all those guys in there where you can get planked by the archers. Pull them out here. So I'm taking a little bit of damage. I did get a bunch of hit points from the tier 5, which is nice. So I'm not really having to worry too much about taking damage, even on elite here. But of course, this is, You know, as old as this content is, it's not quite as difficult on Elite as like extreme challenge dungeons like Zorian Cypher or newer content. Which we are getting kind of close. There was actually to being able to play some brand new content. There was a new like Dinosaur Crisis, which is a dungeon that just came out in the last few months. We are getting close to be able to play that. It's not going to be for a while, but it is, I believe, a level 13 quest. Double check me on that. Could be wrong, but it's somewhere around there. So we'll be playing that for too long. I'll have to check and see what loot is available. It might be one I'll farm for some loot, potentially. One thing I did have to give up on my armor when I took the medium armor for better PRR, is I did have to give up, if I can ever hit this freaking Durgar, I did have to give up the +2 Insightful Combat Mastery. Ooh, that's actually wonderful. So my DCs are a little bit lower when I don't have Divine Might up, which I'm not doing a great job of having it up. Anyways, this is a really nice item, these Swift Boots, because speed, it's giving me now +20 base speed, which is only 5% worse than Expeditious Retreat, and it's feather falling on the same item, which now I can get rid of this. What's funny is I actually had the boots I've been wearing, I've been wearing them because of speed. But I've also been, I have a separate item for Featherfall. So now I can use these instead. Although the only problem with that is I do lose my dodge. So I'll just use them probably as a Featherfall item for now, essentially. But at least I can get rid of, well, do I want to? So with this also, the 20% also get +7% to my attack speed versus 6%. So I'll probably just keep the ones I have for the dodge. But yeah, at least I can get rid of my other Featherfall item. So I'll get rid of those. Okay. Did we pull? We have not pulled that. So go up to the valve. This one a lot easier to pull than the first. Yeah, and there are explosive barrels up here, which can do it. I mean, being as tanky as I am right now, I really am just kind of running face first through them because I can take it. But you might want to watch out for those on a squishier build. Yeah, and those rust monsters really eat through loot really quickly. That one pretty much destroyed my greatsword in just a few hits. That's okay. That's why we carry a lot of extras. Yeah, these Durgar have pretty good fort saves, so it's going to be a struggle to hit my stunning blows in these quests. Especially giving up my Insightful Combat Mastery, because I still am not having Divine Might up all the time, which gives me a better bonus of the same type that doesn't stack, but I don't have it up all the time. Because it is pretty spell point intensive, and like how much is Divine Might? Divine Might is, yeah, 15 spell points and it lasts 2 minutes. So it's pretty, considering I only have 266 spell points, and I need to have spell points for buffs as well and to recast those. I'm not really being too keen on recasting it all the time for every fight. It'll become less and less of an issue as we get higher in level. Because I'll get more spell points and hopefully some more spell point items. But we'll see. Maybe I can actually slot one in. Although I think I do have, at least I have, yeah, I have something. I have Wizardry 63 on my trinket. Still using the trinket that I got from, farmed out from Catastrophe. I mean, I didn't farm that specifically. If you remember that episode, that was what, episode probably 6 or so? I tried to farm out some, so I did ransack Catastrophe, if you don't remember. And I didn't get anything too useful. Nothing that I was really wanting, but I did get that trinket, which was something. I mean, it's not much, but it's a little bit spell point. Get wizardry, plus it has spell point discount proc on it. This is another one. You don't want to jump down in that pit. You're going to get planked by all these archers. You want to just pull the mobs away. A better stunning, a stunning item is something I would love to get as well. I think I have stunning. Did I have to give up stunning? I don't remember if it's on here or not, but anyways, there's a bunch of things I want from random loot gear. And I'm still considering, I may go back. I guess you'll find out in future episodes if I end up doing it. I might go farm Zorian Cypher to try and get that item I talked about a few episodes ago, which was the Greater Heroism Clicky, the Planar Gird. If I recall correctly, it's a pretty low drop rate, but man, that would be quite great. The other thing I have is I actually have an accuracy plus 8 item in my bank, but I've not been able to slot it yet because it's on a pretty vital slot for me. So I don't have any accuracy items going. So I've noticed, not for the most part with trash being a major problem, but I am going to do Tempest Spine probably in the next episode or two. That champion chest is inside. That's funny. Oh, that was a nasty place for it to hit grease. Okay, I did get the thing. Okay, I wasn't sure if I got it turned. Okay, so yeah, occasionally I don't think the game's going to let me loot this. I don't think it's... Yeah, sometimes the game will be a little... I don't know if you want to call it buggy, but just with the champions, they... When you kill them, it spawns the chest on you, so sometimes it'll accidentally spawn them inside walls like this, and you can't get the chest. It doesn't happen too often, but it does happen sometimes. But oh, it is going to let me loot it. Cool. Okay, I probably could just... I'll go ahead and kill these guys. I probably could have just run away, but whatever. There's some kind of plus. You know what? There's some kind of armor. Actually, I want to see what that is. I don't think that's better than anything I have. What is that? It's medium armor. PRR 13 of Insightful, MRR 4. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I'll use that. Okay, so that's it. We have now climbed to the top. We can fall right down here. And can now go to the end fight, which is down here to the south. There's a shrine here we can use. This end fight's kind of lenient because there's a shrine right here and it does not close. So really you can, even if you die here in the end fight, you can just keep running back and rezzing yourself until you win, basically. And I remember a long time ago when I was a new player, I was in a bunch of pugs that did just that. But it won't be a problem here. This is not... It's too difficult of a quest. Alright, but I am going to go ahead and... I will pull some of this stuff. Let me find my... Here we go. My throwing item. Or really, I just need to get some of his attention because it will run to me. But I'm just going to get a few things attention and come out here. But we don't want to fight in the center there where everything's going to be able to plink us. That's another reason why everyone should always have a thrower, not just hit levers, but you can pull mobs as well. Yeah. And that's the boss, actually. So these quests, I think, are pretty good XP, actually, for the time. And I'm getting a little bit less. This is the third time I've run this today. And obviously, I'm not getting Reaper bonus because I'm not running on Reaper. And I already got half of my delving bonus because I did hard already. But these are good, good XP, I think. Pretty good XP. Although in this level range now, at level 10, you know, most players, they will just run stuff like Ravenloft. If you have expansions, but so, and this is a little out of the way being in a wilderness area, so I don't think this is run too much anymore, but it's run sometimes, I think, by players when they're leveling. I think some players are like me as well. They just really really enjoy this content. Loot our chest. This is Daunting Helm of Spot. Okay, nothing we care about. That's actually just a Remy chest. Let's go get our actual end chests. Dwarven axe. Lucky boots of parrying. Good luck. Okay. It's not terrible. We don't have a luck bonus yet. Could be using prayer. But it's not a luck bonus. Well, it's not, I don't think that's a luck bonus to the same things. Anyways, I could be casting prayer. I'm not really keeping up with that. So I could even have the spell, but I guess I should actually. I really should have that on my hotbar now that I think about it. Because I can cast it at least. Because prayer is a stacking bonus. Since it's a luck bonus, it gives you stacking +1 bonus to attack and damage and saves. So it's something good to throw, at least before a boss fight. I should be doing that, actually. Okay. There's a lot of trash, actually, near that first quest. Might actually, just so I don't get dungeon alert, might go ahead and do that. And look, I got a little bit XP. When I was a new player, I actually liked this area so much. I kind of just ran around and I did all the slayers, I remember. I think when I first got here as a new player, the first time I did all the slayers. I'm normally not much of a slayer person. That's why you don't see me doing them. But that's one thing you can do also. If you're leveling free to play, you can do slayers and rares for XP. Something I'm not doing in this series, just quests. So there is more XP available. If you don't want to repeat quests as much, you could do slayers instead. But to be honest, slayers, another reason I'm not doing it is because I'm solo. And slayers are really more of a group activity. Because it's way more efficient. Because as you're in a slayer zone, you get credit for other people's kills as well. So you really want to be in a group to do slayers. I mean, it's not that you can't do them solo, but they're 6 times more effective. Or, yeah, 6 times more effective in a group if you have a full group of 6. Because you get literally everyone's kills. And especially if other people are running, you know, slayer potions. It's very, very nice. But they are very efficient ways to level and get XP if you have Slayer pots, which you can get sometimes through silver rolls. Not the best ones, obviously. Okay, so for this one, we're going to drop down here. The other thing with Slayer areas, too, another reason I don't like doing them is with Slayer areas, you don't get favor. You don't flag for raids. You don't get Reaper points. And you don't get loot. So there's a lot of reasons to not do them. But in a group, they can be, if all you care about is XP, they can be extremely efficient. Okay, this quest is a little bit less straightforward. Then Reclamation, Skyros Jewel. We got to find a couple of keys in this quest, a silver key and an iron key, and they can be in random locations. So this quest can involve a little bit of running around until you find the key you're looking for. It's also just, if you look at the map, it's not, I wouldn't call it huge, but it's fairly big. Fairly big quest. So I'm going to start by just going to the left here. I'm going to go to the west. There's also a bunch of optionals, so I think I'll hit some of those up as we go. And I'm going to do that because I'm on elite and I have no gear and I want more chest pulls.
The caverns and mushrooms twist and turn into a veritable maze.
So there's some of these different these little paths off of this main room here. Those are optionals. The exterminate the scrag optional I'm not going to worry about too much. I'm not going to go first. I never really do Slayer. Like Slayer optionals in DDO, the optionals in quests are rarely worth it. Whoops, I did not see that other guy there. So the chest, both of these keys, the silver and the iron, are in chests. They can be on the bottom here. They can be up here. They can be in the middle areas as well in here. So when I was one of the chests was, I believe, right in this spot when I was doing my normal and hard runs. So here we go. There's a chest. Should have a key in it there. Should be the silver key, I believe. No. Let's kill all these stealthed trolls first. Yep, there's our silver key. I'm going to go ahead and hit up. I think I'll hit up the optionals. I don't remember which ones, but I think at least a few of them, one or two of them, has a chest. Okay. I think some of them are rares as well, kind of like the Rusty in Reclamation, so they're not always there. I think that was the instance here. Yeah, since I'm really only running stuff on Elite once, I mean, I guess I could run it more, but really, since I'm doing it on Elite once, I want to see if I can get something decent on Elite, because you do get better random gen loot on Elite versus hard and normal, because the base level of the quest is higher when you do it on Elite. Like, this is a base level. Here we go. Here's an optional. I don't know if this guy... Yeah, there's a chest back there. So the base level of this quest, for example, it's level 10, right? So when you do it on hard, it's level 11. When you do it on Elite, it's level 12. Okay. Fortunately, got nothing. Potion of Wonder is kind of fun. It does a random effect when you use it. Sometimes it's detrimental. Let's use it and see what happens. Okay, we got a 25-minute bonus to jump. Okay. Yeah, jumping higher is never bad. We now have max jump. And nothing here this time. So we will make our way. We'll go through the southern path in the middle this time, just in case one of the keys is there. Yeah, you know, we're making some, getting closer, you know, to the end of this series. Well, not that close yet, but I'm getting there. Got 8 more levels to go. Before we planning to wrap up the series when I get through all the 1 to 20 free to play quests. But lots more to go. Okay, let's go down here. I think there can be an optional down here. We're just going to check. Yeah, I think there's sometimes... It might be a hidden door, actually. Oh, yeah, it's this one. This is the one with the spirits. We'll go ahead and... I don't remember if there's a... We'll go ahead and do it, but I don't remember... There's a deadly trap down here, but there's a trap on the treasures, but... So I'll make sure I don't step there. Cold trap. But if nothing else, we'll get... I think he spawns here. Yeah. If nothing else, we'll get some XP.
With the smuggler guardians out of the way, their treasure is yours to claim.
Yeah, just that gold pile so we don't get actually any chests. And we don't want to go over there. There's a cold trap. $700 XP, you know, it's not too bad. It's not great, but it's something. Okay, I've not seen the chest in the middle area, so it's most likely there in the east. I guess I can check over here. I am spamming the Q key here. So it should, yeah, it should be in the east there. Since I've been everywhere, unless I ran past it accidentally, but it should be over here.
A cavern opens before you. The stems of giant mushrooms are rooted in the ankle deep.
So when I was unlocking these, on one run, the key was in this area. On the second run, it was in the middle area. The iron key is what we're trying to find now. So I might actually do the exterminate optional, just because of, well, I might do it just by course of actually going for the key. Let's see. There it is. Okay. So we'll do that. Do I want to go to discover the north there? So there can be another optional up there. I think I will. I really need chest pulls. So there's our iron key. So now if we want to, we can go to the south, which is where the end of the quest is. Yeah, someone mentioned previously, like, all these treasure bags, which have collectibles. Yeah, I'm not bothering really to pick those up. So, like, stuff like this, like, I can pick it up. But I'm not really bothering to pick those up because I'm not doing Caneth crafting in this series, and collectibles, if you're not crafting. Okay, so nothing showed up. We didn't get really lucky with the rare spawns here in this run, but yeah, with collectibles, there's a few that are helpful, but overall, if you're not Caneth crafting, I kind of find it to be not really worth the effort to collect them. That's just my personal preference. I do think they should buff collectibles, though. I think you should need less of them to turn in for, say, like, there are certain collectors you can turn in a bunch of collectibles and get a random augment. I do wish that that you needed less collectibles for a random augment, because it's like by the time you get it, you're going to be too high level to really care. And you really kind of have to go out of your way to farm them if you really want to get enough for augments and stuff, which is, to me, it's just not worth the effort. Okay. So these two doors we opened, one door was the iron key, one was the silver, so you do have to get both. Yeah, so that cleave I'm using, Holy Retribution, that's from the tier 5 that we got. Very, very nice. Does have a 30-second cooldown though. So you can't really spam it. It's really a once per fight kind of deal. So you want to make sure, trying to make it count, trying to use it whenever got a lot of enemies near me. So this is the end of the quest. Trying to rescue the girl Ataraxia. That's why it's called Ataraxia's Haven. And she's over here in this jail cell. Being captured. She's been captured by all these Durgar apparently.
With Ataraxia free,
So hopefully we get something good. Nope. So let me run over here. So I actually didn't do this when I was unlocking these, but I know at the end here, yeah, I think this is the exit. There's an exit with a nice view, and I think it's up there. So let's go ahead and run up here. It's actually, if I recall correctly, it's one of the explorer points for the wilderness zone. So if you care about that, you need to do this quest and exit this way instead of just finishing out there. Yeah, see there's a hatch up here. You can get on this roof and this tower. It's also just kind of a cool view. This might actually be good for the, you know what? This might be a good screenshot. Need something for the thumbnail. I was going to use I'll either use this or the spa. But okay, that's it for Ataraxia's Haven. I would love to see them add like 1 or 2 more quests. I think the area is big enough because there's whole other areas of this. Some more areas here of this wilderness I think they could add. There's a few different wilderness areas in the game. Like the Underdark's another one where, especially the Underdark, has got to be the #1. So I went ahead and recalled. We're going to hop back in to get our end rewards. But yeah, it's a couple areas of the game where I'd love to see them put more quests and wilderness areas that are big and open. Could use some more to fill them out. Okay, did we get anything good? There's a long sword. Got some armors. What do we got? Fire absorption. Nah. So nothing helpful here. We got full inventory. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just throw some of these gems away. They aren't worth much anyway. Let's see. We got bracers, spell saves. Not much. Oh, a great sword. What is this? Shocking of tendon slice. Okay, minimum level 13. So it's going to be a little better than what I have right now because it has a better base damage. So if you don't know, there is a set scaling for base damage of weapons. This is an update they made, probably 3 years ago at this point. But they standardized the base damage. So as you can see here, this is 1 level higher than the one I'm currently using. So it has a little bit better base damage. But that scales evenly. So like every great sword that's minimum level 13 is going to have 1 point, at least for in terms of random gen loot, it's going to have 1d6 as their base damage multiplier there. So this is a little better base damage. And it has tendon slice, which is I would rather have than deception. 6% chance to do a little CC. So yeah, so we're going to take that great sword, and that's actually the best great sword we're going to have at this point to make sure I click the right one. So we'll throw that in our bank, and whenever I get to level 13, assuming I don't get anything better, I'll be using that. So guys, that's going to be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you all next time. Have a good one. Take care.